All right. So, all rise. We're in court. Kate, good
Court
morning.
ready. Good morning, Lily.
How are you?
I'm good, Lily. How about you?
I'm doing awesome.
Great.
Awesome.
Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday.
Yeah.
And the following day is Friday.
Friday, and then the week has ended.
So you're in the middle of the week.
Yeah, to say week in a bukef.
Week in a bukef. Those days when they said month in the bukef, it also means another thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It means that's the middle of the month, and you know that very soon you'll be paid.
We will get salary. Yeah.
Anyway, what's up in court? What happened yesterday?
Yes.
Interesting events.
Very, very, very interesting, Lily. Sometimes you sit in
I don't want to be held in contempt. I don't want to be held in contempt. So the thoughts I have, let me suppress it this morning.
Excuse me. So yesterday, a number of cases that came up in court. And the first one I want to talk about is in respect of the Sky Train. Yes, $2 million we are being told that have been paid. A state has in fact lost that particular sum of money. And so 2 persons have been held responsible for that. Solomon Asamoah, the former Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Infrastructure and Investment Fund. Then Professor Christopher Ameyaw-Akumfi, the former board
very
chairman.
much of a household name.
Absolutely.
I mean, I grew up listening to his voice. I grew up hearing his name, and I'm still listening to him, and I'm still hearing his name. That's quite an interesting.
I remember way back in secondary school, we're still hearing the name Professor Christopher Ameyaw-Akumfi and all of that. So, but Lily, since they were first charged on the 13th of May 2025, about a week ago, now it was only the first accused person, Solomon Asamoah, who was present in court. The second accused, that is Professor Christopher Ameyaw-Akumfi, was absent. Why was he absent? He was absent because his lawyers informed the court that the day he was supposed to be in court, he had to be rushed to the hospital because of ill health. So Justice Comfort Asiame, and upon listening to the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. GHOne, on the first day, so that is Mr. Solomon Asamoah in the middle there, being led by, you see there's a police officer accompanying him, which means that as we speak, he's on bail. He's been granted bail, 50 million Ghana cedis, but he's not able to meet the bail condition.
Oh, really?
So he's still in custody, yes. He's still in lawful custody. So yesterday when he came to court, he was being accompanied by the police officers and all of that. And yesterday, Dr. Justice Ramsay, as you can see on your screens, was also there. But the points, the sitting or the business for yesterday was for the second accused person's plea, Professor Christopher Ameyaw-Akumfi's plea, to be taken. Because at the last, when they first heard the case, the judge adjourned the case to have his plea taken because of the fact that he missed the very first day. Now, we were in court yesterday. We're looking forward to see Professor Christopher Ameyaw-Akumfi, but he was missing again. Then his lawyer, Duke Sasu, addressed the court on that and said, at dawn, before the court sitting, he had information that the man had been rushed to the emergency ward. And that even made the judge wonder. At the last court sitting, it was similar, the very similar prayer you made. It looks like when the case is about
time the cases have to
about
be
to come in,
then the man's
the man is
high.
absolutely. So anytime the case is about
he's an 80-year-old man, right?
Absolutely, he's aged. So
but 80-year-old and every time
so
you know, it's very similar to issues we've had in the past. Every time high-profile people have cases in court, they always
issues with ill health. I've remembered a lot of
enjoying our money.
A lot of the cases, some are on surgery, they have to visit their doctors within specific days and all of that. So all those things come to play when such high-profile cases come to court and all of that. But yesterday, what happened was to the effect that after the judge observed, Justice Comfort Asiame observed that it's looking like anytime this case is about to come on, Professor Ameyaw-Akumfi is then taken to hospital. Then the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. GHOne, came in and said, look, we have looked at, the judge observed right, and that was exactly what was captured on the records at the last court sitting. In fact, the very first day, they were charged with 6 counts. And so for them, as prosecution, they will not impute anything. They will not want to put meanings into that. But what they want to say is that, in fact, lawyers of Professor Ameyaw-Akumfi proposed that Friday will be good enough for them. And the Deputy Attorney General said, no, we do not want to impute anything. Friday is not too far away. We want to oblige them. Friday, when we come, prosecution will address the court how to proceed, especially with respect to the second accused person having not been in court. The court said Friday, it doesn't want to give short adjournment. So instead of Friday, then the party should come rather on Monday.
So that at least you have time.
Absolutely. So May 26th, the case is expected to be called for Professor Christopher Ameyaw-Akumfi's plea to be taken in relation to the role that he played in Ghana, allegedly losing some $2 million US in relation to the Sky Train issues and all of that.
I hope that he will be hailing that.
Yes. We all pray that he will be healthy, he'll be strong.
He's not been charged or anything. These are allegations.
Absolutely.
So just come and prove that, or indeed, I had nothing to do with it.
It's as simple as that. Once you are charged, it doesn't mean that you are guilty. All that is required is that there are some questions that you need to come and help the court. And it is for the person who is alleging, and in this case, is the Attorney General, the prosecution.
Proof,
absolutely. They have to really prove that the allegations that they have leveled against you, you are supposed to be there listening to that. But if there's a case established against you, that is when you are supposed to open your defense and all of that. So 26th of May, Justice Comfort Asiame, Criminal Court 4, will sit, and then this case will come out. So that is the Deputy Attorney General moments after the case was adjourned, having some interaction with some lawyers at the law court complex. So that is it with respect to the SkyTrain matter.
Okay, all right. What next? Yesterday, you mentioned that the high-profile robber.
Allegedly. The alleged high-profile.
The alleged high-profile robber who was arrested was supposed to be in court. The court didn't sit, so the case was going to be called yesterday. What happened yesterday? Was it called, actually?
So yesterday the case was called eventually before the criminal circuit courts, 11 before her Anna Basilia Ajay Tewia. And in fact, yesterday when the court sat, the plea of the accused was not taken. Prosecution was led by Assistant Superintendent of Police, ASP Amwa Richard. And his prayer to the court was that investigations are still ongoing. We want to reserve the plea of the accused, in fact there are two, reserve the plea of the accused persons and then conduct further investigation. However, during the time that they were taking a caution statement for it, they noticed some strange behavior, some strange occurrences, some unusual information and all of that. That the accused person, the second accused person, Adinda Akpo.
Oh, not this one.
This very one.
Oh, this is the second accused person.
Yes, this is the second accused person. This very one on your screen there. Defecates and eats his own feces. And I was at the court. Excuse my language this morning. I just have to tell you what really happened in court and all of that. So that's his prayer was that.
He did this in court?
No, not in court. But that was the information that was being laid to the court by the prosecutor. And so he was making the prayer that the court should rather commit him to the psychiatric hospital for mental examination, because a human being behaving like this in the eyes of right thinking.
Yes, apologies.
Yeah, just forgive us.
I need to turn to laugh, but this is quite funny.
But you know
when they were allegedly committing the act, they were not, excuse my French, defecating and eating.
I remember when I posted this story, and then the comments that were coming, oh, this one is format.
Of course, I mean,
and all of that.
I don't want to be.
But what is clear is that the court, upon hearing the submission from the prosecutor, committed Adinda Akpo to the psychiatric hospital. And the psychiatric hospital is just not far away from us here. Yes, for mental examination to ascertain whether he's indeed sound or not, because the kind of information that was being given to the court about his behavior, his strange behavior, his unusual behavior, it is not one that the court ought to take lightly. So in respect of his case, his plea was not taken in respect of robbery. He was charged with facing a charge of robbery, and the other accused person is facing the charge of abetment to rob. And in fact, we have been told that his modus operandi enters your house, gunpoint, and in fact, he's been alleged to have stolen some $200,000 from the complainant. The complainant, we are told, works at the Rich Hospital, also not far away from us. Because of the nature of the case, they will reserve the name for now. And then some jewelry, some items that were taken from all of them quantified in monetary terms, including some cars and all of that. So in the coming days, we'll get to know more. But the court said that he should be in the custody of the NIB. So we'll know more when the outcome of the psychiatric examination test comes out, and then the results is laid to the court. So as you can see on your screen, that's him being taken away from the premises of the court. So that is the information we've been told, that he's put up some strange behavior and all of that. So because of that, he has to go to the psychiatric hospital for mental examination daily.
That's quite an interesting one. Anyway, other cases that came up, the former second ladies.
So when this case came out, if you look at the ways, the processes, the means, the modus operandi in respect of how this alleged robbery took place, if you compare to the former second lady's case, it's a similar routine. Okay. The manner of the robbery looks very similar. So at one point in time, before I even got to know the identity of Adinda Akpo, many have made reference, isn't that the same person who is alleged to have robbed the former second lady and some four others? Then we begin to look at the dynamics and all of that. We realize that no, if you look at the ways and means by which the former second lady's issue came out and this very one that we have at hand, they look very similar. But the point is that there are different accused persons and all of that. But in the coming days, the truth will come to bear when the trial actually starts. But Lily, I've been telling you about this case for some time now, and I did mention that prosecution had made a prayer to the courts for the high-profile persons, for instance, the second lady, the former second lady in the matter, to testify in camera because of how traumatic the whole situation is and all of that. And lawyers of Yahuza Osmanu, the accused person, opposed to that and all of that. Justice Nakizita Kowakwashi has actually agreed with prosecution to allow Mrs. Amissah-Arthur to testify and some others to testify in camera in relation to this very case. But today, the case is coming up. In fact, it came up yesterday, and it has been adjourned again. So in the coming days, we'll follow up, and when the trial starts, we'll monitor that closely to let you know. But what is key is that now prosecution's request to have Mrs. Amissah-Arthur's testimony taken in camera has been granted.
Let's look at some of the cases coming up today. Last night, we learned that there's a fresh injunction on the processes to hear the removal of the CJ.
Yes, against the committee. But just before I come to that particular committee, you note that on the 6th of May, the Supreme Court sat, a 5-member panel of the Supreme Court, heard Vincent Ekow-Assefua's interlocutory injunction seeking to have the suspension of the Chief Justice revoked by the president, or the warrant that suspended the president issued to suspend the Chief Justice revoked. Now, by a 3-2 majority decision, the Supreme Court dismissed that. Today is a day that the Supreme Court is expected to give us their full reasons for that particular decision that they have taken. So we'll be monitoring that closely. Then we can find out, we can get copies of what indeed the situation are, the reasons that the judges assigned to their decision, which is that particular request from Vincent Ekow-Assefuah be dismissed by way of a 3-2 majority decision. So that is what we expect today. Then the point that you have made, a private citizen has also issued a writ at the Supreme Court on the 15th of May it was filed. So this one is in respect of the Correspondent, absolutely. So on your screens now is the copy of the processes that have been filed. And if you look at this whole thing, he is challenging the committee set out, the 5-member committee set out by the president to investigate the petition, the 3 petitions against seeking the removal of the lady chief judge. In fact, the committee had its first sitting last week, Thursday, and it's expected to sit again tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow the committee will make its second sitting. But in respect of all that is happening within the committee's work and all of that, the Supreme Court, we are being told, is likely to hear another injunction, this one targeted at the committee, Justice Gabriel Palmer's committee. So we'll be following through all of this to see what will happen at the Supreme Court by way of this very injunction that has also come up.
All right. What else is coming up in court today?
I'm sure a lot of people will remember. Ben Lord Abebio.
Oh, the Kaswa Millennium City murder case.
So that case is still not gone yet. We are not done yet. The trial is about to start. Prosecution.
Oh, the trial is now about to start.
Yeah, now about to start. Wow. So all that they were doing the preliminary processes. So one of the sittings, he has to empanel, select his jurymen and women. He's done that. Prosecution has addressed the court. His lawyers has addressed the court and the jury. And then his lawyers have also done same. So now case management complete have started and all of that. Today he's back in court, and they will know more when he appeared in court in relation to this. So, but where we have gotten to, the trial is just about taking off in relation to this. So these are some of the cases that we should keep our mind on. And on Newsroom and our subsequent bulletin, possibly tomorrow, we'll bring you all the updates and all the cases that took place in court.
Certainly. Thank you very much, Captain, for those updates from the court. That's Murtala Inusah with court today.